Hi, this is Jamie Magrich coming to you from my craft table. Today I'd like to show you how to make this card. Let me scroll you down. Alright, let's get started. This card uses the first Frost stamp set, which was in the holiday catalog. I'm not sure it's still available or if it has been retired, but it's also using the Doily Builder Thinlet size, which is in the Occasions catalog. It's on page 47. You can buy it as a bundle with the Dear Doily stamp set. So I'm using just a couple of the doilies. Okay, so let's show you what we're going to need. For ink pads, I have an Early Espresso, Balmy Blue, Soft Seafoam, and Highland Heather. We're going to be needing a couple dimensionals, a few basic adhesive back sequins. Okay, let's put those up here. Okay, for paper we have a scrap of Soft Seafoam, we have a scrap of Whisper White, a piece of Whisper White which is 4 by 5 1/4, a piece of Highland Heather which is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, and a piece of the thick which is 5 1/2 by 8 1/2, scored and folded at 4 1/4. Okay, so that's the consumable part. We're going to be using the Doily Builder Thinlets. We're going to be using this thinlet here and this edge. Okay. We're also going to be using the Big Shot, and we're going to be using the Frosted Bouquet framelets. We're going to be using this one here and the ones that cuts out the roses. Okay, so those are the thinlets we're going to be using. For the stamp set, we're using this long flourish, this piece here, the sentiment wishing you all the best, and the 2 roses. We need some multi-liquid glue, and perhaps a sponge and the silicone craft sheet. Okay, well, let's get started. First thing I'm going to do is, let's move these aside so we don't need them quite this second. First thing I'm going to do is stamp my roses onto a piece of scrap paper so we can cut them out with the framelets. We're going to be using Highland Heather. We need 2 of the small ones, and with these are the distinctive stamps, so we don't want to squash it in there, we just want to tap it on, but do turn it over, make sure it's inked well, stamp it, do it again. Okay, and I have my chamois over here, so let's open that up. Okay, then we need the bigger of the roses, and that's also going to be in the Highland Heather. Perfect. Okay, we're done with the Highland Heather ink. And okay, so on this, get this out of the way so we can bring the Big Shot up here. On this, we're also going to cut out our doilies. I'm not sure if you're going to be able to see it, but we'll put it like this. Maybe you can see the corner of it then. Because that's zoomed out. Alright. Okay, so our sandwich is going to be our big shot platform, thin die adapter, a cutting plate. We're going to do our paper with our dies on it and another cutting plate on top. Okay, I'm going to put this one on the bottom because it's a little flatter. It'll be easier to set everything up. You might also need some washi tape or post-it tape or something like that. So we're going to put this on here. You might be able to do everything all at once. We're going to line up our die. Put a little post-it tape on it. Okay, and the little ones, there's 2 of them, which is perfect. As long as they're far enough apart, you can get them both on here at once. Whoops, I just moved it. That's not good. Alright, make this one where we want it. And tape it down. You could use a magnetic platform instead of the base plate. I just always use this. Okay, then we're going to cut one of these. One of these. Okay, now we have that scrap of green. Set it on here. We need to cut 2 of the sprigs. Oh, I'm not sure I'm going to be able to get it all at once on this, but okay, then we're going to put our other plate on top. Scooch it down, maybe I can. Look this way. Alright, and run it through and because I have that thinlet going horizontally, it didn't want to run. Alright, let's move this out of the way. Done with the big shot. And with my machine, I only have to run it through once. I've already cut out some of these, so I'm not going to, now when these detailed dies, if you just bring over your, this is a foam mat, this is a brush that comes with it, so you just run it over. All those little pieces will fall right out. Look at that. Isn't that perfect? Just one pass through the machine. The dies are excellent. Okay. I already have some cut out, so I'm going to put these aside. And these are actually pretty good. All these little pieces in here so I don't lose them. So I know where they are. Okay, and this one will just pop right out as well. This one you might need your pick tool for. Just poke it once and the piece will pull right out. Okay, so we'll put these aside. We're done with the green piece. I need 1 more of those, but I already cut them out. We're done with the big shot. Put that away. Alright, now let's assemble our card. We're going to bring in the Whisper White layer, which is 4 by 5 1/4. I don't know if you can see it. I'm not stamping off, so I can do it right directly on there. Okay, we're going to bring in the stamps, which, where did I move them to? Down here. I want this long spriggy one. I'm going to stamp it 5 times. across the front of this card with the soft seafoam ink. Each time I'm going to turn it so that the ends are on a different location. So let's ink it up. I'm going to start about here, about maybe half an inch from the bottom, maybe more like an inch from the bottom. Stamp it, ink it up, turn it, give myself a little bit of space, stamp it, ink it up, turn it again, try to keep that space consistent. This one's a little bit more spread out than the other, but that's alright. Okay, I'm done with this stamp. Chamois out. Alright, then we're going to take this one with the berries and the leaves. I should try to zoom in a little bit so you can actually see what I'm doing. See if I can do that without messing everything up. Just a little bit. I want you to still be able to see me. Alright. And we're going to take the balmy blue. We're going to ink it up. And we're going to stamp over here. Okay, then we're going to wash our stamp off. And it's alright if it's not perfect because it's just going to be a shadow. Then we're going to stamp, ink it up with Early Espresso. Oh, this one's hard to open. I haven't used it a whole lot. Alright. And this time we want to make sure it's inked up really well. Okay, I'm going to stand up. We're going to try to line it up so that it's over the top of it. And we're going to stamp. See how it leaves a little bit of a shadow? This time it's a little bit dropped to this side. This card was a little bit to the other side. It really doesn't matter which way. Most of it's going to be covered up anyways. Just gives a little bit of a interest. Alright, then we're going to take our pieces that we cut out. Let's put this ink away so I don't get my fingers in it. I'll need it to stamp the sentiment. Actually, I could probably do that now. Let's go ahead and stamp the sentiment on there. And notice some of the other ones, like the Highland Heather that I've used a lot, opens easily. So as you use them, it gets better. Alright, the sentiment is wishing you all the best. We're going to ink it up this time. The original card I did it in black, but I think for continuity I want it to be in the brown. I think it would look better. And between a couple of these leaves, we're just going to stamp the sentiment. Straight up and straight down. Perfect. Oh, I like the brown much better. Alright, wash the stamp off. I'm lucky I didn't get a halo because I had ink all over the edge. Alrighty, now we can put the card together. Alright, so we're going to take this doily. We're going to adhere it over here. And then we'll cut it off and the rest of it will go on this side. The strip. Oh, I didn't take this out of the die. Oh, because I already have one out. Right here. It's going to go down here. And I think I stamped this down a little farther. So it'll come down a little bit farther than the other one. Alright. Just for the sake of time, I'm going to glue this one on. Alright, and I'm going to bring this in to show you how we did that, how I did this. I usually just use the Tombow glue and a couple little dots, but this is a little bit trickier to do, so let's go ahead and do it this way. A little less chance of getting glue all over everywhere. So we're going to put glue on here. If I can get the glue to come out. I had it started. You don't need a lot. Alright, then we're going to pick up our sponge. And we're going to dab it in the glue. And you got to hold this in place so that it doesn't move. That way you just get glue where you want it. Stick it on. Alright, we want a different spot. A little bit of glue on this side. And this is going to go down a little bit farther from the other one. And not quite as far on the page. Okay. And this one might need a little more glue, but we'll try it without. And this one's going to go across the bottom here. Alright, and we're done with this. This will just wash off with water, or you can let it dry and it'll rub right off. Okay, we're going to flip it over, and with our snips we're going to cut off these doilies. See, I could have just used the other half on this side. See how they're pretty much the same size, but that's alright. Okay, now the flowers themselves are going to get put on with dimensionals. So we have one dimensional on the back of each flower. This one you could probably put two on, but and we're going to arrange them up here. It's pretty much going to hide most of the little spriggy stuff on there, which will make it look more like a rose instead of a... Okay, and when you get them where you want them, them down one at a time. Oops, I want this one to flap over the top, so there we go. I like that better. Okay, then we're going to take these little green sprigs. We're going to put one in here. I should have put this in before I put the lace. This lace anyway. So we're just going to take a little bit of glue. And we could use the sponge the same way, but I'm just going to put a couple little teeny tiny little drips on there. I don't know if you can see it or not. Stick this down here. This other one, I took this bottom piece off This top piece goes up in here. Again, just a couple little teeny tiny dabs. Stick it up there. And this one, I'm going to tear this bottom part off even more. I'm going to stick that in here. Okay, let's glue this back down. Decided not to stay stuck. I didn't think I had enough glue on it, but it was a good thing because I needed to move it anyway. Alright. Glue this down here. Move it over to the edge. There we go. Now we can mount this onto our Highland Heather piece. And you could cut something out of this so you don't, for two reasons. Then it would be less heavy and you would be saving that piece of paper to use on another project. But okay, let's glue that on. This is going to have 1/8 of an inch border all the way around it because it's a 1/4 inch larger. Okay, then this is going to get glued directly onto the front of our card. It's exactly the same size, or it should be. It's the front of the card. Looks like my card base needs trim just a hair. It's alright. Alright, then we're going to bring in the sequins. And you could use the green ones or the white ones. I'm going to use these iridescent ones this time. And I'm going to grab my Take Your Pick tool. I'm going to use that to pick up the sequin. Just kind of push it. And I put one sequin down here. Come on. There's the spatula. Doesn't want to cooperate. Let's get a different one. I have one over here. Trying to see if I can get this one. I have to cut it apart, I think. And I have one up in here. Make that triangle so your eye follows around the page. Okay, and that's our card for today. Thank you so much for joining me at my craft table. I hope you have a great rest of your day. And before I let you go, I just want to show a couple things from Stampin' Up. The products are Stampin' Up. The Doily is available now. They do have a celebration going on right now, which is a great deal. A celebration where for every $50 that you spend, you can select something from this catalog for free. There's also $100 choices, so if you spend $100, there's a couple of choices that you can select for $100. Starting on February 15th, there's 3 new choices that are with that. There's the All Adorned stamp set. There is embossing folder, which is really awesome. Let me show you that. It's really detailed. It's the dynamic textured impressions folders. It's a nice and thick one. And this is, I'm not sure if you're going to be able to see it. The texture on there, it's really, really awesome. Alright. And then the third one is a $100 choice. It's the Painted Seasons bundle. and I've already created a card with that. It's really pretty. It's one of those distinctive stamps. It stamps all the details without you having to stamp the different layers, which I love because I have a hard time doing those different layers. Now this one is designed, all adorned, for you to use in your stamparatus, so you can make corners or a pattern. I haven't played with that one yet. Okay, also, they've got something coming out which is called, where is it? I had it written down so I could tell you. Coordination. The occasions or celebration coordination. Occasions coordination. These come out of the celebration catalog. These stamp sets, they're free choices that you can choose. This is the $100 choice, and then these two are $50 choices. Well, they came out with dies that coordinate with it. They are not a free choice. You do have to purchase them, and that will not be starting until March 1st. From March 1st to the 31st only. You can get the framelit dies that goes with the Lily, the Call Me Cupcake, and the Hop Around framelets, as well as the framelets for this stamp set as well. Are all choices in there, along with a punch. There's a punch as well as on choices. Now would be a great time to join if you, as a demonstrator, if you're thinking about it. If you're going to spend $100 on product anyway, you might as well sign up to be a demonstrator, because from now until March 31st, you can get $175 worth of product for that $99 that you would spend. You don't have to sell anything. You could just use the product yourself and get your discount, 20% discount right off the bat. And that's basically what I did. But if you're interested, just go to http://jamiemagrich.stampinup.net. You can place an order there, or shoot me an email at jamiemagrich@yahoo.com, and I would be more than happy to assist you in ordering any products or signing up should you choose to. Well, thank you, and have a great rest of your day.